What's going on, Jerome's? Week 2 is upon us. Well, Thursday Night Football already happened. And frankly, I'm glad that we're doing this on a Friday because I would have picked the Chiefs -4, is what it is. But disclaimer, this is not gambling advice. Gambling has inherent risks. If you have a problem or know someone who does, 1-800-GAMBLER or all the disclaimers. But we walk on with hope in our heart. Week 2, let's go, baby. A couple jelly beans coming daddy's way. Now, I have found two things with gambling. Number one, you can't keep losing. Again, do not take me serious at all on any of this stuff. And number two, the way to really make it is pick every single game as opposed to just picking and choosing your spots. Anyways, we're going to run through the rest of the Week 2 NFL slate. Like we said, we probably would have picked the Chiefs -4. Maybe we did. Who really knows? Starting with the noon games on Sunday. The Dolphins with Mike McDaniel and Tua and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and they roll into Baltimore. And Lamar Jackson looked really damn good. Week 1, dropped a couple of dimes, but getting 3.5, so you got the hook. You're on the road. Even though this is close. This is tough. Of course, Miami played that famous game against Lamar last year. So I not that matters. I'm still gonna pick Miami. Yeah, those points are just too much. Week 1. Plus, I think people are gonna overreact to Week 1. And we'll get into some of those reactions and how they factor into Week 2 because they're like, oh, this team played good, this team played bad, so this team must be doing. Sometimes it doesn't factor in. But I think Baltimore wins, but I think Miami covers here. And then you got the Jets, led by Joe Flacco. Wacko for Flacco against his old nemesis. Whatever. The Cleveland Browns favored by a touchdown. Now, the Browns won the Baker Mayfield Bowl last year, and now they have their home debut. They got the elf on the field. The Cleveland Browns are Americans trying to get into what we call soccer, what Europeans and the rest of the world call football. Explain the rules is kind of tough, but explain what a catch is. And also try to explain what the Cleveland Browns are. So number one, they're named after a dude. Their helmets are orange, even though they're the Browns. And then their mascot is an elf. And also their fans are dogs. Try explaining all that. But the Browns are favored by a touchdown. I'm going to take it. I think the Jets, until Zach Wilson gets back, he did return to practice, but Flacco's going to start this week. I do think that the Browns hold serve at home. I think they pound the ball on the ground with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, etc. And then you got the Colts and the Jaguars. Can we just relegate the AFC South? Can we bring Bama up from the NCAA. So the Colts had to tie Week 1 against the Texans, and the Jaguars were pretty plucky on the road against the Commies before losing. But Indianapolis on the road, favored by 3.5. I don't know what to make this early in the season, but I'm going to be taking Indianapolis in this spot where I do feel like Jacksonville. The Jaguar, actually, no, F it. We're switching. We're turncoating mofos because I just changed my mind in real time. I love and respect Trevor Lawrence. I do think that their weapons that they paid for in free agency are nice. I think they've assembled a lot of young talent. And the Colts, even though the Colts and Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Michael Pittman are studs, I still don't know if I can trust Matt Ryan. I still don't. Next up, you got the Bucs visiting the Saints. Tampa Bay's favored by 2.5. This is a weird spot where the Saints have traditionally done well against Tom Brady's Bucs, especially for some reason, at least one time a year, they just woodshed them. Right? And the Saints, I think the Saints are going to be tough. That's why Week 4 is not going to be a joke. Of course, they just came back against the Falcons Week 1 in the Falcons building. So I'm going to take Jacksonville. Nailed it. I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints plus 2.5. Maybe even win outright. I may think about jelly beans on the money line in this spot. Then you got the Panthers at the Giants. Giants actually favored in a football game. It's kind of crazy, man. Now, Carolina dueled the Browns at home. I just don't buy Baker Mayfield. I don't. And Carolina, they do have a fast, fun defense. The Giants obviously don't trust Daniel Jones, but the Giants are going to be plucky. I mean, if Saquon can get his ish together, and if that defense could be opportunistic, maybe they got something going there. I do think that they win. I do think that they cover. I think they win by a field goal. And then Yeah, you got Patriots and Steelers. Hey, remember when this was a big time matchup like a handful of years ago? Like Patriots Steelers must see TV. Belichick and Tomlin and Big Ben and Tom Brady and all that stuff. So New England, for some reason, is still favored by 2. The Patriots dropped an egg down Miami, and this is what we're talking about: week 1 versus week 2. But I still think that Pittsburgh gets it together, even though they don't have T.J. Watt, which is a big-time deal. I think that they're able to string together some semblance of a pass rush. I think that Trubisky Ponder makes enough plays, and even though Najee Harris is dinged up as well, I think that I can't give up points. And also, Mac Jones, speaking of dinged up, I don't trust that Patriots offense, so I'm going to take points in this game. You got Washington at Detroit. Detroit is favored in the actual football game. And I think they win by a field goal. I think they get it done against the Commies at home. Late slate. So Seattle visiting San Francisco. These games are always tough. Plus, the Geno Smith hype is legit. Well, at least the first half against the Broncos. They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. That was amazing. That was just an amazing line. Also, inclement weather is forecast again for the Niners in Santa Clara this time versus Chicago. Versus week 1 Chicago is a monsoon. So taking 8.5. So you're getting a touchdown and then some in what's going to be a tough slogfest of a rivalry game. I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle in points in this spot. And then you got the Falcons visiting the Rams. The Rams have no home field advantage, but Falcons fans, I feel like Falcons fans, God bless them, they may be a little bit burnt out by blowing leads. I mean, it's got to be tough. And this is coming from a Vikings fan. When I say it's tough to root for your team, whatever. But I know everyone's expecting the Rams to bounce back from that Thursday night football pantsing week 1 against the Bills, but I really don't see it this year. I mean, the offensive line is putrid. The defense is not the same. It's like Aaron Donald against the world. Jalen Ramsey is garbage again. Matthew Stafford's elbow went right, and Cooper Kupp can't do it by himself. So and also Sean McVay is already calling out Cam Akers. So somehow, some way, Arthur Smith and company, they're going to get it done. Like maybe Cordero runs wild. The marvelous Marcus Mariota, maybe he makes a couple plays. But, 10 points is just too much. It is. And then you got the Texans at Denver. And everyone's going to be leaning on discounting the Broncos because of what happened week 1. But they're going to be at home opener. Hopefully Nathaniel Hackett can get his ish together. But I actually believe in the Texans. I do. I think Lovie Smith is a fine, calming influence at head coach. I think Davis Mills, I think there is legitimately something there. I think their defense can be pretty solid at times. So, give me the points. Like, I'm not saying that the Texans win outright. Like, I'm not messing around with the money line, but give me the points. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Then you got the Cardinals and the Raiders. Raiders are favored by 5.5. Now, the Raiders had a tough game against the Chargers week 1, and then the Cardinals just got beat down by the Bucs. But I'm going to take Arizona in this spot. I'm going to take the 5.5 points. I do think that Cardinals Nation, Red Nation, is going to... what are they called? C Red, B Red, something like that. Anyways, I think that they'll travel up to Las Vegas, and also the Raiders just don't have a home field advantage because the teams that come in, their fan base travels. It's a vacation for them, so I think it's going to be essentially a neutral site. I do think that Kyler gets off the schneid, even though it's going to be a little bit tough without Nuke Hopkins. Maybe he'll actually watch some film this week. Who knows? And then J.J. Watt is probably going to be back. And this is the Chandler Jones revenge game. Yeah, I forgot about that, but I think that this is going to be a bit of a shootout, but we're talking about like 34-31, somewhere there. I'm still going to take the 5.5. Then you got the Bengals visiting Dallas. Now, Cincinnati comes in as a 7-point favorite. They're looking to bounce back after that week 1 debacle against the Steelers. Of course, no Dak, so you got the Cooper Rush dynasty is on. CeeDee Lamb. So fantasy-wise, CeeDee Lamb, maybe not so much, but I think he greatly is going to struggle without a guy like Amari Cooper on the outside. Give me Cincinnati to cover. I think Cincinnati wins by 10-plus points in this spot. Sunday Night Football, you got the Bears, the 1-0 Bears versus the 0-1 greasy grimy Green Bay Packers. Now, Green Bay's favored by 10. Give me the points in this game. Like, this is not going to be an Aaron Rodgers, I still own you game. It's very easy to say that when he's got Devonta Adams in his corner. I think the Bears... I think the Bears are going to be a little bit plucky in this game, even though I don't believe in their talent. I think that they're going to be a bottom 5 team in this league. I think that they're energized from the sort of fluke game against the Niners. Obviously, they're going to get up for the Packers rivalry game. And Justin Fields, I think, makes a couple plays. I think Mooney gets some things done, and they're able to get something going. So I'm not saying that they win, but I think they'll cover 10 points. And they got Tennessee Titans visiting the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, baby. So I think the Bills cover. Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, I think the Bills cover in this spot. I think Tennessee is just completely emotionally deflated from that week 1 game against the Giants. I think Buffalo's riding high. I think they'll put up points early and often. I think they'll just shred that Tennessee secondary, and I think that Tennessee will get away from their bread and butter, which is just running with Derrick Henry, make sure Tannehill doesn't make mistakes. They greatly miss A.J. Brown. Treylon Burks is not him yet, so I think Buffalo wins this one. I think it's a woodshedding. Give me Buffalo even -10, which I don't like laying double digits. I don't even like laying more than a touchdown, but I'm taking this spot. And then Vikings at Philly. That's right. Go make cheesesteaks out of the birds. Give me Vikings +3. Also, give me Vikings on the money line. So that's it. Those are Week 2 NFL picks. Sure to go wrong. Again, this is not financial advice. We're not licensed professionals. This is all for fun. This is for schnitz and giggles, all that stuff. But your thoughts are thoughts. Week 2 NFL picks. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.